Hi, Chad here with Purple Collar Life. Today's video, how wet is too wet, or in other words, how dry is dry enough? We get a lot of questions about firewood, specifically about different types of firewood. A lot of people know that here on our Northwest Pennsylvania land, we have a lot of cherry, maple, oak, hickory, and people want to know how long does it take firewood to season, how big should the pieces be, how wet can they still be to burn inside a wood stove, and what I use to measure that. So let's go over that a little bit today. If you were watching Purple Collar Life last year, you probably saw a moisture meter test that I did. We're going to do a little bit of that today, but mostly we're talking about firewood, the right percentages to burn at, and we're really talking about to burn indoors in a wood stove or a wood burner like we have in our house. We know the rules are a little bit different if you're burning in an outside wood burner. So all of our talk today is about the wood that we use here in Pennsylvania in our buck stove in the basement to heat the house. One of the questions I get asked a lot is how long does it take wood to season? And then people want to know, is it different for oak or cherry or maple? And the answers are yes, and it depends on what the wood is like. I could have a standing dead tree behind me, like one of the ones you see back there. They might start seasoning because they're still upright, not on the ground, and getting some air over time, but it's going to take them a long time to season to where you could burn them after cutting them. The same thing with these rounds. These rounds have been stacked here now for over a year, but that doesn't mean they're seasoned. They're not a year seasoned, because in order to season in the center, they have to be split. If you watched my splitting for 30 minutes video, this is how much I split in a half an hour, and that was just about a week and a half ago. So in this video, we'll test what's the moisture level of this wood. We'll split one of the rounds, see what the moisture level of that wood is. We've got wood that's been seasoning for a year, wood that's been seasoning for almost 2 years. We'll check all of that. We'll check some wood that I have stored inside, kind of climate controlled, and see what difference that is. A little while ago, R&D Industries asked me to test out their moisture meters after my video last year about the moisture meters, so I agreed to go ahead and do that. I bought these off of Amazon. I'll put the links down below, as well as the links to the other moisture meters I've shown in this channel. So how do you know if wood is seasoned properly to burn? Well, the way I recommend is a moisture meter. And in the video I did last year, I tested this general moisture meter. It was the one I had the longest. I tested the Klein Tools moisture meter. It's a pinless moisture meter. And I tested an R&D brand moisture meter. This year I've got two other ones that I've been using for about the last 3 weeks or so. I'll explain to you why I've switched to primarily this one, the MT19 by R&D or Reddragon Industries. I'll show you that, how it works, and why I chose it over these others. Let's start here in the basement with our climate controlled wood first. This wood is a mix of maple and oak, and it has been seasoning for over 3 years. Some of this has been seasoning for about 5 years. So a good example of wood that is properly seasoned. It is here in the basement. It is kind of climate controlled, but as you know, if you have a basement in your house, there is some dampness, especially against the block wall. But this should still be in good shape. We run a dehumidifier in here. So rules of thumb. My hard line is 20%. I don't put anything in the buck stove that's over 20% moisture. And there's a couple reasons for that. A, it's less efficient. If the wood has more moisture in it, it has to heat up just to take care of that moisture, and you're not getting BTUs or heat out of that wood. Second thing is it's not safe. If you put wood that's wet in your buck stove like ours, it creates a lot of that creosote that goes not only in the casing of the wood burner, but all the way up the chimney, which can cause a fire hazard. So you always want to make sure you're burning dry wood for safety reasons also. Number 3, I like to burn dry wood because it's not as smoky. So if you're having an outside campfire, it's much better to have dry wood than wet wood where everyone's not worrying about the smoke constantly blowing in their face. The same thing with an indoor fire. You want to put dry wood in there so that there's less smoke. It's more efficient. You don't have to risk smoke billowing back out at you as you're building that fire and waiting on that draft to pull the smoke up through the chimney. We did a video on starting a fire in our buck stove. I'll put a link to that up above, but just some tips I use when starting an indoor fire in the buck wood stove. So I said my hard ceiling was 20%. I like to burn in between about 7 and 15%. That's my favorite range to burn wood. To get to that percentage, it takes a different amount of time for different woods. I've found that cherry, hardwood cherry that grows in our woods, takes upwards of 2 years to season down below 20% moisture. That's because when it's growing, it's about 70% or greater moisture. It takes a lot of time to get all that moisture out of the wood. Oak takes between 1 and 2 years, and maple actually takes somewhere between 6 months and a year and a half, in my experience with the trees that we have here on our land. So let's go ahead and do a test here. This looks like a good piece of oak. We'll start with the first moisture meter I ever had. That's the General. We do have it set on wood. Go ahead and stick it right here in the middle. We're getting about 12.4. Stick it here on the end. 12.2. So pretty consistent. I consider anything within 2% pretty consistent. Now our other pinned meter that I started using this year is this nice Reddragon R&D one. I'm going to set it for hardwood. And the reason I like this is it's a much larger display. It gives me percentage bar graph, shows my battery level, and the low, mid, and high indicators. We'll do the same area here. We're getting 11.1 and 10.3. So we're showing a little bit less moisture on the R&D meter than we were on the General, but like I said, within 2%, I consider a wash. If you'll remember from our reviews last year, the trouble with these pinless meters is they don't quite get as good an accurate reading on pieces of firewood because they're not a perfectly flat surface, but let's go ahead and give it a try. You can see I'm set here for hardwood on the Klein tools. We're getting somewhere around 3, 4, or 5% showing as dry. This R&D pinless meter, again, I like the bar graph. The large numbers, easy to see. I'll change the mode to hardwood. And we'll give it a test here. Getting a little bit less, 2, 1. So I'd say we can conclude that our inside wood is in great shape, ready to burn this winter. Now let's go take a look at what's been seasoning outside. Next to my inside seasoned wood, these should be my next most seasoned woods. I just brought out the R&D meter because, like I said, that's the one I've been using the most lately. I like the nice big display. I brought the pinless one just to kind of compare, but I do find that the pinned version is best to use for firewood. This is great if you're testing moisture in a hardwood floor, drywall, masonry. Great for surfaces where you don't want to poke into the wall, but I like this one the best for firewood. Now a couple comments about how this wood is stored. It's nicely covered, stays dry out of the elements. It does get some sun for part of the day, but not as much as I would like. It gets some wind here in the woods, but not a ton of wind. There's a reason that I store it here, and that main reason is my wife. She doesn't like to see the totes of firewood when she looks out the nice scenic back view windows of our house, where she can normally see the deer, the woods, and the animals. So I've strategically put these in places where she can't see them. The downside is they don't get as much sun, they don't get as much wind. They take a little bit longer to season out than if they were out in the open. If you watch Adam over on Hometown Acres, I can tell you my wife would have a fit. She can't stand the totes sitting out along the front of his yard. She says, you know, he's got such a pretty place, such a nice looking yard, and she considers the firewood stacks an eyesore. So we'll pull one piece out of here. You can see that we are seeing 13.3%. They're calling that mid, and that's about right. I don't know if you can see that deer snuck right up on us here. Again, somewhere around 13%. Just as a comparison. Oh, that's pretty close. We're getting 12% on the pinless meter, so that's impressive. But you can see this is a fairly smooth surface. A little bit easier for the pinless meter to read. It's still saying mid. But I love that nice big gauge. So the other thing we'll do is we'll keep these pieces of woods we're testing off to the side. I'll split them again right down the middle. We'll see what they're like on the insides. Just for curiosity, we'll pull one more piece out of here, out of another bin. just about the same, about 13%. Give the Pinless a try, and there you go. You got 8 or 7 because, as you can see, it's not as smooth of a surface. We can't make quite as good a contact. Like I said, all this wood has been seasoning for at least a year. I could not burn it last winter because it wasn't seasoned yet. It's had another summer, spring, and fall here to season. Now we're in good shape to burn all this winter. This is wood that we split just a few weeks ago when we first got the splitter. We'll test it on the Pinless first. We're getting 11.6. $12.2. So at least this top piece, I'll pull it back out to split it. It had seasoned long enough as a round that it didn't take much longer to season to get the center of it, but we'll split it and see what we get. The next wood we've got here is that cherry from those big rounds that we split. Again, really no smooth surface to test. There's a little bit, we're getting about 13 or 15. 17.8, and it's saying that it's wet. So let's split these 3.5 again. We'll see if we get any different readings. Do love that split fire machine. And let's take a look at the area that we split. Getting mid. Let's try here. Still in that 14.9 or 15 range mid. That was the piece from back at the over a year seasoned. This is the rounds that had seasoned for a long time but just got split. 17.8 in the center. This is that nice cherry. Look at that, 33. That's very wet. So even though the outside seemed like it was starting to season pretty good, the part that hadn't been split, still very wet. Too wet to burn. The sky is getting really dark and I hear some thunder coming, so I'm gonna wrap this up. But a couple key notes just as a reminder: I don't burn anything greater than 20%. I like to let it season for at least a year. Cherry, 2 years, at least the hardwoods that we'd have. I always recommend everyone have a moisture meter. This has been the one I've liked the most this year, and I'll put the link down below. It does come with extra pins. Box looks like this. Meter looks like this. This one's about $26 right now. I like that it comes with a nice little protective bag. It's easy to use. This is the Pinless one from that same company, R&D Instruments or Reddragon. It was $44. I wanted to get it to compare to the Klein Tools brand. That's what the box to that one looks like. So always be careful when you're burning that firewood. Make sure that it's seasoned properly and dry enough for your wood stove. Like I said, my favorite range is about 7 to 15. I will burn something up to 20, but not beyond 20%, and that's only if I'm desperate. Most of this that you saw me test was somewhere in the 13, 15 range. That's going to be perfect for this winter. Thanks for watching. If you enjoy videos like this, or if this helped you out at all, give us a thumbs up. Comment down below on what percentage you've found works best for your wood stove, or if you've got an outdoor wood burner, I'd like to hear from you. Does the percentage matter when you're putting in an outside wood stove, or is it not really that important? I would think it would be equally important as inside, because you'd want to have the maximum number of BTUs and you wouldn't want all that creosote on the inside of your stove or up the chimney flue. So go ahead and leave a comment down below. Subscribe if you're not already following Purple Collar Life, and we'll see you again next time. Seasoned for 1 year as rounds and just split. Compare it to the outside. Outside would say 13 or 14, but then you can see once we split it, it says wet 18 and a half.